welcome to What's Your Story? I'm your host, Dr. Lisa Schuster. We are in my kitchen, and I am with my beloved younger sister. This
Hello.
is Yael Marga.
Hello.
Yael lives in Los Angeles, so we don't get to see each other very often. My sister has really become quite healthy, mind, body, and spirit, and so she's going to share a lot of the different things and how she got to this. So I know that one of the things you were talking about is that for you, becoming a flight attendant was what was a big impetus for you to look at your health and how you were feeling. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Of course. I flew for several years, and I'd always been an athlete, but I just couldn't get healthy. Every time I was flying and attempting to acclimate to the air pressure, I was dehydrated all of the time. I was fatigued all of the time. I had a lot of ear, nose, and throat issues. My working out, I just had no energy. I was very lethargic. Found out that I got a lot of candida because I was really drawn to a lot of sugary products and yeast products and things like that. So I started really cutting those kinds of foods out of my diet and really increasing the water-based foods such as red bell peppers, cucumbers, tomatoes, and started to notice a huge shift in my energy level when I was on the aircraft. Then after I left flying and started getting into triathlons, really just kind of continued along that same vein of eating more water-based fruits and vegetables. And if I was going to do yeast products, it was going to be things like quinoa or chia seeds and anything that it was a high fiber-based protein but lower glycemic index.
So let's get started. We're in my kitchen. I'm going to leave and let her talk to us about a really healthy green snack.
So one of the recipes that I love, and it's really easy, it's a raw kale salad. I don't know if you've heard of kale. For women, it is a really fantastic food for us to eat. It keeps our calcium and our magnesium levels really high. If you are someone who possibly has osteopenia like we do in our family, or osteoporosis, it's just a really great bone density building, high fiber, high calcium, raw vegetable. So I'm chopping up the kale in a really fine, small increments. And the reason being I'm putting it into a Cuisinart is so that it's a lot easier for our body to digest, and our body's not working in overtime, if you will, so that we're actually getting the nutrients straight away. So what you want to do is you want to just get your kale. You can either get it at a farmer's market, hopefully a good supermarket here. Don't want to do product placement, but the whole paycheck place. That's a really good place to go, and they usually have a really good fresh kale. So rinse it off, dry it with a little bit of a paper towel. If you don't have a Cuisinart and you can chop it really fine or put it in some kind of an apparatus that'll make it really smooth, definitely a way to go. So less is more in whatever it is that you're chopping so that you can get it really fine. So besides the raw kale, I also like to use raw pumpkin seeds, and I just put that in there and use your hands and just mix it through. And the pumpkin seeds are another great base of protein as well as fiber. If you're not a pumpkin seed fan, you can use something like a pine nut or almonds chopped, or any kind of seed like a sunflower seed. And then just for a little bit of a sweetness, I also like to put a raisin or a cran raisin. Sometimes if strawberries are in season, I might add a few of those just for a little decadence. And that's it. This is the beautiful raw kale greens with pumpkin seeds and raisins.
Okay, so I'm really excited to try this kale salad. And you usually put dressing on here?
Yeah, sometimes I'll do like a nice light lemon or fresh herbs. We found a really great salad dressing.
It's got rosemary and roasted garlic vinaigrette, so I'll put a little bit on here. And it's really actually delicious.
I know, it's really good, right?
Nice because of the, usually when you think of kale, it's really big and it's hard to chew, but being chopped up is really nice. Have it this way.
Yeah.
I would definitely eat this.
Absolutely.
All right, so now my sister is going to be showing us different kinds of exercises and stretches and movement that she has been doing for quite a few years to help maintain her health. We'll see in a few moments. Now she's going to be talking about and showing us some of the different kinds of exercises and strengthening and stretching and core. So I'm going to get out of the way so that my sister can, she's also a yoga instructor, so she really has a lot of knowledge. She's done triathlons. She does work in a place in LA where she works with people that are runners, so she has runners clinics. So she has a lot of knowledge with exercise and she works out really hard.
I think
I just
time.
sit there and eat bonbons while she's working out. But anyway, so let me get out of the way, and then my sister is going to show us more of her working out.
One of the activities that I like to do for a quick warm-up is jumping rope. A lot of times boxers use it, martial artists use it, runners use it. It's a great way to get really warm. It's an explosive exercise. If you've heard the buzzword lately of plyometrics, this is what a lot of people do for their active rest. So if you're doing a video at home and they talk about active rest, I highly recommend jumping rope. So one of the things that I like to do if I'm not going to jump rope is I definitely believe in breath work. Stretching is paramount for every athlete out there. And you're going to just collapse your fingers underneath your chin and just inhaling through your nose and exhaling. One of the exercises that I'd really like to share with you today is something that when I was living in New York City, I was teaching senior citizens yoga because I noticed that their balance was not wonderful, and when I was doing traditional yoga with them, they were having a really tough time. So I started incorporating chair yoga. And you're just finding your alignment, and you're really putting the energy into the ground, into your heels, allowing your feet to spread open, and then putting the energy into the chair. And you're just going to come up and inhale, and coming down, really opening up your scapula, and just doing, again, 3 or 4 cleansing breaths just to kind of get grounded and centered. And last one. And now we're just going to come forward, extending from the hip bones, coming all the way down. If you work at an office, this is a terrific stretch just to kind of let go the stress of the day in your shoulders, and then just gently rounding up vertebrae by vertebrae until the last thing that's up is your neck. And another wonderful stretch to get you going if you're in your office is literally just dropping your chin to your chest and just feeling the weight of your head and breathing. Huge fan of it. And now just shoulders up to your ears and let it go. And up to your ears and let it go. So a lot of us are really tight throughout our hips. And one of the stretches that I like to do when I'm working with runners and or swimmers or cyclists is, it's a great one. A lot of times people do it on the floor. If you feel overwhelmed to get down, to get up, a great place to do it is also in a chair. And really what you're going to do is you're going to grab your right leg or your left leg, whichever one. You're gently pushing down on that knee. Nothing is forced. It's really allowing the breath to be opening up your joints. It's helping the synovial fluids flow. And you're just relaxing into it, feeling easy, and it should feel quite nice. You should feel a really good release through your sciatic area. And I'm just going to do the other side. And again, pushing in, really feeling the lower tailbone. I'm a really big fan of doing core work. A really great exercise, if you're not wanting to do sit-ups, is what's called a plank. You can do a plank several ways. Some people like to do it in a regular push-up. I'm going to turn to the side. And you really want to make sure, again, that you're in alignment, that you're not up here too much, that you're not sagging, but that you're really in proper alignment from the top of your head to your feet. Some people like to do plank a little wider. Some people like to do plank a little narrower. It's going to engage in different muscles. You really want to think about tucking your tailbone in and allowing your navel to go towards your back. If you feel that your wrists cannot handle this, you can come down onto your forearms and you can just be here anywhere from 30 seconds to 5 minutes if you can handle it. It's a pretty intense exercise. There's another variation if you feel that you're strong enough for it. It's called a plank jack, and it's literally coming out and in. It's working your abductors and you're really working on your core. You can also do a sprawl so that you're also getting, besides a core workout, a little bit of an aerobic workout as well. Or you can come into mountain plank. So a lot of times you'll see people coming to side plank, which is another great variation. Working on your core, again, if you're really not wanting to do a sit-up. You can do from 5 to 60 seconds here. You're really wanting to make sure that you're not sagging in your hips, but that you're really driving your hips up to the sky. So, as you can hear, it certainly engages you straight away into your core. Your body temperature is increasing, or mine is anyway. And if you're joining me, hopefully yours is as well.
Okay, Yael, that was pretty exciting to watch you. You know, you're so strong, and I'm just so excited for you because my sister is just so dedicated to really working out and having a wide variety. And again, my show is about different people and what drives them, what excites them. And I think that my sister's drive of staying healthy, having a balanced life, it definitely came through with what she was showing us. Until next time, I'm your host, Dr. Lisa Schuster, for What's
Your Story?